persecution in Nigeria. Reconciliation meeting over Dangote refinery Ferguson dispute moved to NSA's office. And on the foreign scene, at least 10 killed in suicide bombing near paramilitary headquarters in Pakistan's Quetta region. Good evening. This is News at 7 on Western Spring Television. I am Femi Ojo. We begin in the court, where Justice Mohammed Umar of the Federal High Court Abuja has fixed October 27 for the arraignment of a human rights activist, Omoyele Sowore. The scheduled arraignment on Tuesday was stalled as a result of non-service of the 5-count charge of alleged cybercrime on him. At the day's proceeding, the Director of Public Prosecution from the Ministry of Justice told the court that they were ready to arraign Sowore, X Corporation, and Meta Facebook Incorporated as first to third respondent, respectively. Sowore's counsel, Marshal Abubakar, however, told the court that they had not been served the charges. The counsel for the third respondent also aligned himself with Abubakar's submission, noting that he had just been served in court. The second defendant was not represented. Justice Umar then adjourned to October 27 for arraignment. The activist was accused of using his official X handle to make an offensive post. The alleged offending post was said to have been made on August 25 within the jurisdiction of the Federal High Court. It was also said to be contrary to Section 24, subsection 2B of the Cybercrimes of Prohibition and Prevention Act 2024. Meanwhile, the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, has arraigned 2 men, Ibrahim Suleiman Umar and Tijani Adam Goni, before the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja for allegedly defrauding unsuspecting job seekers of 4.8 million naira through a fake employment scheme. The duo, according to ICPC spokesman Demola Bakare, in a press statement issued today, were brought before Justice B.M. Bassi on a 5-count charge bordering on conspiracy, obtaining by false pretense and forgery. According to ICPC, Umar and Goni conspired in June 2021 to obtain money from 2 victims, Safiuddin Yaqub and Aminu Abubakar, under the pretext of securing them jobs at the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) and the Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS). The defendant also forged appointment letters purportedly from the 2 government agencies, along with a document titled Final Document List, which they presented as authentic. When the charges were read, both accused persons pleaded guilty. Justice Bassi subsequently ordered their remand at the Kuje Correctional Center, pending the next hearing on October 29. And to security matters, President Bola Tinubu has dismissed the purported persecution of Christians in Nigeria as a lie from the pit of hell. The president rejected the narrative while speaking at the inauguration of project and the launch of Governor Hope Uzodinma's book in Imo State on Tuesday. He noted that the notion that there was religious persecution in the country is a lie, adding that both Muslims and Christians are united.
Yeah. They lie all over the place. That we have religious persecution that differences. No. We are more developed, civilized, and well-educated. Yes, we learn English, but we teach English too. Our Muslim brothers and sisters and Christian brothers and sisters and fathers are helping us to build a nation. We are united. No religious persecution in Nigeria is a lie from the pit of hell. I've always believed in good governance. And since I assumed office, I focused on your welfare.
In the meantime, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has commiserated with the management of Rise Television over the death of his uncle, Somtochukwu Maduago. 29-year-old Maduago, popularly known as Sumi, tragically passed away in the early hours of Monday following an armed robbery incident at her residence in the Tampe area of Abuja. In a statement on Tuesday, the minister said the police authorities would bring the Maduago's killers to justice. The minister prayed for the repose of the soul of Somtochukwu, saying her death was not only a loss to the Arise News family, but to the Nigerian media, the entire nation as a whole. Moving on, the reconciliation meeting between the management of the Dangote refinery and leaders of members of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASAN, was moved to the office of the National Security Advisor, NSA. The meeting, however, was held behind closed doors. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Mohammed Ngiadi, along with some members of PENGASAN, were in attendance. In another development, Professor of Political Economy, Patu Tomi, has reacted to the Federal High Court ruling restraining him from forming a shadow cabinet. In an interview after the judgment, Utomi downplayed the decision, saying it was not about seeking constitutional recognition. The professor noted that the move was unprecedented, and whatever it is, they are not looking for a place in the Constitution. When asked if the ruling ended his shadow government plans or if he had an alternative, Utomi insisted on his civic rights. He stated that as a citizen, he expected that he would continue to be able to express himself and also the freedom to meet with other citizens to jointly express themselves. Meanwhile, the Federal High Court in Abuja on Monday held that Utomi and his associates could not use rights of association and expression as cover for unlawful activities. Justice James Omotosho, delivering judgment in a suit filed by the Department of State Services DSS, declared the concept of a shadow cabinet unconstitutional. Local government workers in Rivers State have suspended their strike after a closed-door meeting with Governor Siminalayi Fubara at the Government House in Port Harcourt. The strike, scheduled to begin at midnight on Tuesday, was triggered by a dispute in Emoa, local government area, where the re-elected council chairman, Chidi Lloyd, refused to pay some staff he claimed had not been duly verified. The meeting had in attendance the leadership of Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, NOLGE, members of the Local Government Service Commission, and the chairman of Emoa Local Government Council. The outcome of the meeting, though not disclosed in detail, indicates that the parties have reached an understanding leading to the suspension of the strike, which he had earlier escalated into a protest along the Emoa axis of the East-West Road. Speaking to journalists after the closed-door meeting, the state NOLGE president, Clifford Paul, announced the suspension of the strike and assured members that their grievances would be addressed. And in Edo State, 3 people, including a commercial motorcyclist and his 2 passengers, have lost their lives in a fatal accident near the Ogba River Bridge in Oredu local government area of the state. Eyewitnesses said the accident occurred on Monday into when the driver of an SUV lost control and rammed into the motorcycle, killing all 3 victims instantly. The incident sparked protests by fellow Okada riders along the airport road who decried recurring fatal accidents in the area. They alleged that the SUV driver was involved in advance fee fraud, popularly known as Yahoo Yahoo. One of the protesters, Abdullah Usman, identified the deceased Okada rider as their union secretary, lamenting the recklessness of so-called Yahoo boys on the road. The Nigerian Railway Corporation says the online ticketing platform for the Abuja-Kaduna train service is now open for payment. The corporation's chief public relations officer made this known A statement released this morning in Lagos. The NRC encouraged passengers to book their tickets online ahead of resumption on October 1. According to him, in preparation for the resumption of services, the journey time has been reduced following a review of the temporary speed restriction TSR to enhance operations. He added that the management of NRC appreciated the patience and understanding of his esteemed passengers during the suspension period. He further assured the public that safety, comfort, and customer satisfaction remains top priorities. The sale of tickets follows a temporary pause after a passenger train traveling from Abuja to Kaduna derailed on August 26, leaving several carriages overturned and triggering panic among those on board. NRC had earlier announced that it had completed comprehensive safety, technical, and operational checks after the suspension of service. And elsewhere, survivors of female genital mutilation (FGM) are turning personal pain into advocacy to end the harmful practice that continues to affect millions of Nigerians, women, and girls. Lalekun Akindoju has this report on a mother of 5 children who is campaigning against the practice.
Doris Okoto, a resident of Igweben in Edo State, was 15 years old when she learned that she was mutilated as an 8-day-old baby. The middle-aged mother of 5 children, who is a teacher, now advocates against female genital mutilation, stating that the practice robs women of their rights and dignity.
I know that I was not supposed to be mutilated because of the story my mother told me. My mother said I was mutilated at 8 days old when they gave birth to me. Then I spent extra 3 months at Lut in Lagos because I was bleeding.
According to the World Health Organization (WHO), female genital mutilation, or FGM, refers to all procedures involving partial or total removal of the female external genitalia or other injury to the female genital organs for non-medical reasons. In every form in which it is practiced, FGM is considered a violation of girls' and women's fundamental human rights, including their rights to health, security, and dignity. Doris shared her story at a media dialogue to support advocacy to end FGM in Nigeria, in Benin City. The workshop was organized by UNICEF in collaboration with the Oyo State Ministry of Information and Orientation.
When Auntie Helen left, I took over the position. Just yesterday here, we went to Igwebe Mixed School. It's a big hall like this, filled with girls from SS1 to SS3. And a particular girl stood up. She said, if a girl is being mutilated, what will happen to that girl? Then I asked her, are you the one? She started crying. Why? It's not the end of the world. I tried to explain to her, it's not the end of the world. The reason why we are telling you now is for you not to allow your children or anybody close to you, female.
In Nigeria, 20 million women and girls have undergone FGM, representing 10% of the global total. UNICEF Child Protection Specialist, Lagos Field Office, Dennis Onoise, believes awareness about the dangers of FGM needs to increase towards eradicating the practice by 2030.
First and foremost, what is it that female genital mutilation is doing to your daughter, is doing to the community that make you to say you want to continue with it? So a lot of people are not thinking about it. A lot of people are not talking about it. The reason why it is being done in the first place, traditionally, is to say you want to help the child to marry well. You know, because they believe that when they cut the child will not possibly enjoy sex or something, and so she will stay and wait for her husband. Anytime her husband needs her is when. But they have forgotten that even the husband will not even enjoy the daughter very well because the daughter have been caught, you know. I mean, so that in itself is a problem.
According to the WHO, FGM violates the principles of equality and non-discrimination on the basis of sex. It violates the right to freedom from torture, inhuman or degrading treatment, violates the right to the highest attainable standard of health, and in the worst cases, it even violates the right to life. While sustained efforts have accelerated progress being made to eliminate FGM, more awareness and implementation of laws are required to put an end to the practice. Olalekun Akindoju, Western Spring Television News.
You're watching news at 7 on Western Spring Television. Now still to come. Atiku, El-Rufai, Ayu, others visit Olubadan. We will bring you more on these when we return.